Kia ora, this is Arun Jacob, your friendly and frank licensed New Zealand immigration advisor, as well as education advisor, coming live from the city of Hamilton in New Zealand as every week. It's just that it's a new week, so I'm coming on a new day as against my regular day of coming on Tuesday. This week, I'm coming live on Wednesday. You can also see I have a new haircut, so a lot of new things happening. And today I'm also going live for the first time on Instagram. So I have rigged up a small little, apparatus where I can put my phone into it and have me going live on our official AJV Global Instagram account, which I think has got about 800 odd followers. So warm welcome to all our Instagram followers of AJV Global, but I'm also going live on YouTube as well as on Facebook. So I'm going live on two channels on YouTube, which is my personal channel on YouTube, which is Arun Jacob. And then there is also the AJV Global official channel, which is also part of our, marketing mechanism to reach out to all you wonderful people out there who want to move to New Zealand. And then I'm going live on three different Facebook platforms, or four if you include Instagram. I'm going live on our Facebook, on my personal Facebook ID, which is Arun Jacob, of course. And I'm also going live on our Facebook group, which is called NZ Options. And I'm also going live on our official AJV Global page. And like I said, the last thing I'm doing is going live today for the first time ever on Instagram as well. So for a guy who is 50 years old and growing up, I did not even have a telephone at home. This is all sometimes fancy and new, all this technology that one has to deal with. But I think I have adapted quite well, and it helps that you have young kids at home who are constantly on technology. So you pick up a lot from them as well as from my wonderful, amazingly young team of talented people as well, who I think are all, most of them would be half my age, but it's great to work with a lot of young people, including all our fantastic AJV students and clients who choose to come to New Zealand through us and want to be present here and create a future for themselves, or just acquire great education and experiences in New Zealand and go back to their home country. So irrespective of what it is, we are here to serve you. Request all of you to ask your questions on the AJV Global page, because that is where I would be looking at as part of my session today, because I'm on five or six different platforms at the same time. So let's try and ask your questions on the AJV Global page. If you're asking your questions in some other place like YouTube or wherever else, my team will try and copy them onto the AJV Global page. So I will try and do that. Sorry about not coming live yesterday. One of my team members very nicely put up a note which said, due to technical reasons, we could not come live on Tuesday. The technical reason was this: I had a really bad throat. I was kind of coming out of a cold, so my throat was pretty badly gone, and that was the technical reason I could not come live yesterday. But hey, look, it's good to mix it up a little bit and come live on different days of the week and see how it works out. But all said and done, let's get started. As always, I'll start by showing my license to all of you. That is my license to practice as a licensed New Zealand immigration advisor. And for me to be able to do that, I had to undergo a course of study. That certificate here, which is right on top of my head, is called the Graduate Certificate of New Zealand Immigration Advice. So I had to undergo that study in the immigration law of New Zealand, and then I also had to um, get myself cleared by the police department, because anybody who does not have a clean police record will not be allowed to practice as a licensed immigration advisor. So yeah, it's quite strict, and year on year I will also have to do something called continuous professional development of minimum 20 hours every year, so that I continue to renew my license year on year. And having that license means I have the legal ability to sit here and talk to all of you about opportunities in New Zealand, whether it is for migration or for education or to set up a business here or to invest in New Zealand or just come and travel in this beautiful country we call Aotearoa in the Maori word, or the land of the long white cloud. All right, so here we go. Let's get started. As always, I'll be doing my Q&A, and because I'm just coming out of a cold, guys, if I start coughing in the midst of the session, please do not be worried. I'm not dying on you on live Facebook and YouTube broadcast, but I will try and settle my throat and come back and answer your questions. All right, cool. Here we go. Let's get started from. I might as well take a small sip. That feels better. Okay, so first question is from Vivi Tarun Kumar, who I know is one of our AGV students who was already present here in New Zealand. And Tarun asks how to transfer credits from one university to other. Okay, the way that works, Tarun, is you will have to obviously make an application to that particular institution, and that institution will take a look at your previous transcripts and kind of do a mapping to check how much of the current course you're enrolling for has already been covered by your past course or whatever transcripts you're putting forward. And based on that, they will be able to take a call. I don't know why you are asking this question. Tarun, I think you were studying at the Media Design School in Auckland. So if you're planning to shift from Media Design School and move to some other college or university, as an AJV client, you will get free advice from us, not only from myself, but from my colleague Mary, who is also a licensed immigration advisor, also based here in Hamilton. But you can also speak to Virginia, who is an ex immigration officer and now part of our onshore customer service team. So pick up the phone and speak to either Mary or Virginia or to myself. And to make it easy for all you guys, in New Zealand to call us. We have set up a toll free number, which is called 0800 my NZPR, which translates to 0800 So if you're in New Zealand, you can just call that number, which is 0800 6977777, which actually becomes 0800 my NZPR. If you look at your keyboard on your phone, you will see it says 69 is MY, 69 is NZ, and 77 is PR. So that's the reason we chose that very unique number. And if you're in India, for the rest of you who would like to get in touch with our team, we also have set up a toll-free number in India. So if you want to contact our India team, you can either call that number or send an email to that. Or if you're in New Zealand, you can call that number or send an email to that particular email address. All right, Tarun. So get in touch with Mary or Virginia or myself, and we will understand why you're trying to do it. And if you want to shift from one institution to the other, we would definitely be able to help you. You're an AGV student, so you will continue to get our services for a very, very long time. All right, cool. Right, Syed Ibrahim asked me a question saying, hi, could you let me know what would be best for me to migrate? I'm a dentist from India. Syed, one of the rules of this live session that I conduct is that primarily this live session is meant to assist AJV clients like Tarun and those of our clients who are already speaking to us and engaging with us in a conversation to try and move to New Zealand for education or for migration. For those of you who are not on, the AJV client list yet or client prospect base yet, I would request you guys to um, share your contact number because that will allow me to give some answers to you because as part of this session where I give free information and advice, I like you guys, people to share your contact numbers with us so that we can come back and contact you. And so I think it's a fair bargain. So anybody where sorry, I also keep reading my messages from my team. And somebody says that I went all out for this session and even got my hair styled for this. No, not at all. It was just a very, one of those hurried haircuts. So yeah, I hope it looks fine. And anyway, so yeah, guys, if you want to ask me a question, request you to share your number so that I can give you an answer. And of course, if you're an AJV student or client, just please state that so that I can, of course, modulate my answer to you guys and girls. All right, cool. Okay, Vincent David again asked me a question. No phone number, so I will have to skip it. Vincent, please come back and share your number, and I will ask, and I will share my answer. And if you're already in touch with one of my team members and you're already on the verge of becoming an AJB client, please share that information, and I will definitely give an answer. Same thing, Kunal Modgil asked me for question, but there is no telephone number. So again, I'll have to skip that. Ashen asked me a question, but no telephone number. So because of that, I'm not able to keep moving forward and ask answer too many questions. But like I said, it'll be nice if you guys can identify yourself as AGV clients, or at least share your numbers, because that's the least we expect in return for sitting here and giving you guys and girls free information and services. So if Vincent and Kunal and Ashen can again ask their question with your telephone numbers, I'll be very glad to answer your questions, guys. All right, cool. Next question is from somebody called Rajan Giri, who has shared his number, and he says, "Hello, Arun. Nice to be see you in live. I guess I selected postgraduate program in management, but the fee structure is high. I can't afford that fees. Please help me. Any other option?" Rajan, again, you have not mentioned if you are working with AGV or not. I hope you're working with AGV, Rajan. And team, if you're listening in, it'll be nice if you guys can confirm if Rajan is actually one of our students. But nevertheless, because Rajan has asked a question, I would like to answer and say, Rajan, the primary criteria in choosing a course should never be the cost. It might be a few $1,000s more than compared to some other course, but I think the primary criteria you need to choose a course is your real interest. Because I understand, especially students and clients coming from India and a few other countries are extremely price conscious. I think we, as human beings, all of us are price conscious, and we don't want to spend more than what we want to. And sometimes, of course, it's the point of sheer affordability as well. But but in fact, today I was talking to one of my colleagues who has to relocate from one city to the other. So going overseas and wanting to settle down there either directly through migration or through the pathway of education is quite an expensive affair. And my suggestion to people is not to scrounge in this initial phase and settle for a course which may not prep you very well for a job in future, just because you're spending those extra $3,000 or $4,000. I think is a wrong approach to take, Rajan. If, for instance, you're going to a bank and they're sanctioning you, let's say $20,000, to ask them to push it up to $25,000 is not such a big effort. But that particular course that you get into might be the platform on which you will be able to stand and ask for future job very confidently. So I don't think the cost of the course should define what particular course you're getting into. I think instead it should be the content of that course and your real interest in that particular subject, which will now prep you properly for a job. Because the way I look at it, like I told you, going overseas, whether for education and settlement or directly through migration or through investment or business or so many other various ways of migrating to New Zealand, is an expensive affair. You guys will, and girls who are wanting to go overseas to, especially to a country like New Zealand or many other countries, have to be equipped very, very strongly with your financial side of things. So it kind of makes me a little nervous to work with the students who don't carry enough money with them and come to New Zealand and are practically struggling from day one, because your mindset becomes very negative and you are always in the survival mode, which is not the best way to go overseas. So, Rajan, yes, if you are working with AJV, we will look for options within the postgraduate diploma level itself. which might be a little lesser as compared to what you're choosing at the moment. But like I said, try and stretch that a little bit extra, because once you're successful, once you finish your course and you do get into a full-time job, get your post-study work visa, and move into a full-time job, then what you spend, at that little bit extra, $4 or $5,000, you will earn it back in a month's time. So it is all an investment that you guys and girls are making for your future. And like I keep telling you, that's something that you will earn back. Right now, frankly, for that matter, I'm still in a bit of an investment mode into AJB as a company, and we hope it will become massive and big and support hundreds of people uh, in employment, and also in helping our clients here. So we all have to make certain investments, Rajan. So good question, but I would say please have adequate funds for you for your fees as well as for your living expenses when you come to New Zealand. Don't come with the survival mode, and that will kind of set you off on the back foot, start you off on the back foot, and that's not the right way to start your journey in New Zealand. In fact, I'll tell you a small story, everybody. Today, I got a beautiful email from one of my ex clients who is now living in Wellington, and he came to Hamilton initially, and he used to live here. So I went to meet him. Like I keep going all around New Zealand to meet my clients. And the first or second day when he came here, I met him and I was asking him if it was all right. He had left his wife and child back home, and he came and I said, "Are you all right?" He said, "Yeah, all's good, but I'm kind of saving my money, and I'm just trying to eat basic food, and not try to spend too much money." You know what advice I gave him? I said, "Stop being so." Um, hard on yourself. I said, you come with some money, go and spend some money and eat a go. I said, go eat a nice, there was a nice Indian restaurant right opposite where he was staying. I said, go eat a biryani and, treat yourself because you're in New Zealand. Don't worry about that money you're going to spend on yourself to keep yourself happy and make yourself happy. And I said, celebrate the fact you are in New Zealand. And then you, with your talent you have, with the background you have, with everything, with the skills you have, I'm sure you will find a great job and fantastic job, and you'll go on to settle well. So don't ill-treat yourself in those first few weeks when you're in New Zealand. I think it's a big moment for you in your life. So you need to be celebrating. You need to be spending money and not be looking over your shoulder saying, "Oh, I've spent another dollar, another dollar." So people who come with that mindset of, "Oh, I'm spending another dollar," are the ones who end up with a lot of mental suffering, as against people who will come and say, "I'm going to celebrate being in New Zealand. I'm going to spend this money because it's an investment." The same person wrote a beautiful email to me, which I shared on our Facebook group, by the way, and also on my Facebook on my Facebook ID. And he said he's moving into a much better job with the government department. His wife is already working with the government department. The kid is doing really well, and they have started building their first house in New Zealand in Wellington. So I wrote back to him on the email saying, I hope my biryani advice came in handy. And he wrote back saying, absolutely. The day I started living freely without the worry of money on my head is when I really started, moving forward in New Zealand. So, you guys should come to New Zealand when you're financially and mentally equipped, and, of course, academically equipped to be able to make a success out of yourself. Do not come in desperation, because desperate people will not succeed, and that desperation only adds you to do sometimes stupid things, which of course will kind of spoil your entire journey in New Zealand. All right, guys. As you all know, I like to tell stories, so that was a story I thought I must. Cool. All right. Okay. Vincent says. Okay. Moving on. I'm gonna take a sip of. So, hey, Tim, can you confirm to me if somebody's in touch with Vincent David? Because he says he was in touch with our former colleague, Vishal, uh, who is not with our team, of course, any longer. The moment you confirm to me that one of you is talking to Vincent, I will definitely go back and answer his question. Syed Ibrahim says, already mailed Mary and waiting reply on immigration advisor at ajbglobal.com. And Syed, I think Mary will respond back to you. Mary is in the process of setting up a new office in Hamilton for us. She's a bit tied up, but I'm sure she'll respond back to you, Syed. Vincent has shared his number, so I'm going to scroll back to Vincent's question. Thank you, Vincent, for that. I appreciate that. And so Vincent's question was, How does showing living expenses play in getting a visa? Um, what if I can show living expenses for a year and fees for 2 years for a 2 year course? It does not work that way, Vincent. You will have to, Immigration New Zealand will ask you to show, the that you have access to the full set of funds required for you to successfully complete your course. And that will include your tuition as well as your living expenses. And I don't know if you're still continuing to work with AJV. You've shared your number. We will get in touch with you. From your number, it looks like you're based in Singapore or one of those places, because you're starting with a 675. I'm not sure which particular country that is, but we will get in touch with you because you've shared your number. Our team of people has got not only licensed advisors like myself, but we also have a bunch of ex-immigration officers, who is one of them is our country manager at the moment in India, and at least two of them are our team leaders, who are all specifically involved in ensuring that all our student visa applications are filed in the right manner with the right documents and with the right explanation to the immigration department. And the beauty of it is that they're essentially writing these cover notes and these cover letters exactly the same way they would have liked it when they were immigration officers themselves. So I think we have a lot of expertise in our team to be able to present our cases in a very, very positive manner. So Vincent, I don't know if you're still working with AJB. I hope you are, because you're asking me a question about financial side of things. We would like to stitch that case together really well and then take it forward and present it on your behalf. Does not matter which part of the world you guys and girls are living in. We are a New Zealand based company. I'm talking to you live right now from the city of Hamilton in New Zealand. So you're talking to the New Zealand people who are based in New Zealand, and it is a New Zealand company owned and operated by a New Zealander. And we are catering to clients from different parts of the world. We are very blessed and privileged to have our clients from India, which is our largest market, but we also get a lot of our clients from other countries like Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, China, Brazil, Europe, some from North America, from Singapore, and some various other countries. So do not think that AJV is a company that's catering only to a particular nationality. It just so happens that majority of our clients are coming from India at the moment. But hey, look, most countries would get Indians and Chinese going in a majority fashion anyway, because these are the two most populous countries on earth. But a warm welcome to everybody from different parts of the world to work with AJV, because we are a New Zealand company owned and operated by a New Zealander like myself, and with a bunch of people who really, really understand New Zealand very well. All right, cool. All right, Sunando Basu writes, hello, Arun. It was really nice of you to go over to a student's house because he was feeling homesick. Hats off to the selflessness, which is a trademark of each and every one. Hey, Sunanda, thank you so much. Really appreciate that feedback. And we run this company from our heart. You can run a company from the heart, or you can run it from your mind. And when the mind is ruling over the heart, you're thinking more money than happiness of the people who touch your lives. And we would like to work with our heart first. And as I keep saying in all my live broadcasts and also my blogs and everywhere else, this company, AJV Services Limited, has got four priorities. First and foremost, we want to ensure that New Zealand becomes a good society and a fantastic country by attracting the best talent from different parts of the world to come here. Second, we would like to stand by our clients, like all of you guys and girls, who trust us and come to New Zealand. So the least we can do is go and catch up and put an arm around the shoulder when somebody's feeling homesick, especially when it is only 1.5 hour away from where I live. So it was not very far. So it was beautiful to go and meet Shankar and say hello to him. Third, we are here to be fantastic, employers, and ensure that our team is happy and that they're doing good work and they feel valued and that they're learning and growing in this particular job. And last, our fourth priority is the profits of AJV Services Limited. So at the moment, it's going well. Uh, so we're serving New Zealand well. We're serving our clients well. I think we're taking good care of our employees. and our profits have not been bad. They can be better, but they haven't been bad as well. So I think our ingredients are right, and that's why our heart will always come above our mind, and that's why it's always New Zealand first, our AJV clients second, our employees third, and then the profits of this company. But thank you, Sunanda, for appreciating what we do. And I keep telling my team and myself that somebody trusts us and leaves the comfort of their home and comes halfway across the world to live in a strange country. The least we can do is be their local family. So thank you so much. It was wonderful to drive to Tauranga and meet Shankar, and he actually inboxed me some very nice selfies he took. And then I also took one of our students from Hamilton who also came recently to New Zealand. Her name is Anjana, and she's got a fantastic background in marketing. So I wanted to understand a bit more about what kind of work she has done. So I called her and said, "Hey, look, I'm going for a drive. You're 3 days old in New Zealand. Do you want to come and see a new town?" She said, "Yeah, sure." So she jumped into the car. We both went. We met Shankar, had a lovely Italian dinner, and we went to his home and ensured that he was comfortable. He's living well, so and I'm sure he will do really well. Thanks, Nando. We hope to see you here soon as well. Simran says, "Is there any update from INZ that they'll be clearing all the backlogs till July?" I heard other agents saying that INZ has made a target to clear all the backlogs by the end of July. Simran, I don't know why what other agents are saying, but I went and met the head of immigration department of New Zealand in the Mumbai office, and she and her team are the people who have this backlog of applications with them. They're trying their best. We are trying to give as many updates as possible from our side. I think anything that was filed up till May, they are definitely wanting to clear by the end of July. And The ones which were filed after May, they are trying to also push and get them out as quickly as they can. We received, I think, about 10 or 15 approvals in the last 1 week, 10 days time from all our applications that are still pending with Immigration New Zealand. So we are exerting that little gentle pressure without getting too pushy, because if we get too pushy, then obviously it might impact on the outcome of that application. So we have to maintain that very delicate balance of ensuring that we're pushing your interest forward, but without hurting it. Because if we push too hard, it's very easy for a frustrated immigration officer to find fault with that application and put a decline. So we have to do that tightrope walk in a very careful manner. So just be patient, Simran, and we're trying to do everything from our side. All right. And I also got an update, Simran, that your application has still not been allocated. So it might take some more time. But like I said, we are exerting some pressure. And that's the latest update I have from my team as well. A lot of AGV clients who are wanting to get your updates, please speak to your case officers, your visa officers in the AGV team, and to the team leaders. Because I know some of you want to ask me, but I'm not the person who's directly in connection with the immigration New Zealand Mumbai team. So please speak to your AJV case officer, and to the TL, to the team leader, who are, by the way, both also ex-immigration officers. Ask for an update. If there is no update, request them to put a little bit of pressure, and they will discuss it internally, and we will send out. We have the contact details of the managers and a few other senior officers in immigration New Zealand. But that does not mean that we can keep bombarding them with emails. It is not the right way of dealing with a government department. We are trying to do our best, and they actually requested us saying, "Hey, look, try not to send us too many emails." So we have to be respectful of that as well. So please be patient, guys. This is not something that's happening only to you or only to AJV class. This is a massive problem that has developed across New Zealand. In fact, everybody is talking about it. They're discussing it in the parliament. Everybody's talking about it. And I think we also have to bear in mind that sometimes there will be political actions which will not be explained to people like us, of course. But you have to bear in mind that the current government, which is in power in New Zealand, came to power practically on a platform of saying that they will cut down on immigration. And we are now coming close to our next elections. So now is the time they will have to fulfill the promises they made when they came to power. And one of the key points they made was that they will cut down on the numbers of people coming into New Zealand. So as they keep coming closer and closer to the elections, I'm sure they will want to cut down on the numbers a little bit, because obviously that's a promise they made to the public of New Zealand. So, and that's why they got elected. So you'll have to bear in mind that sometimes there are much larger forces at play than just one application sitting with immigration department. But the positive thing in all this is that I don't think student visa applications will be affected as much, because international students contribute a lot of fantastic revenue to us as a country in New Zealand. And also, a student visa is a temporary entry visa, it is not a resident visa. So I think they will start getting tougher and tougher on the resident visas, because, as we're coming closer to the elections. But I think as far as student visas are concerned, I think they will be still be quite lenient and let them through, because obviously we require the revenue as a country. And like I said, I'm always in support of any government decision, whether it is a labor government or a national government or whichever government comes to power in New Zealand. The government eventually has got the welfare of New Zealand as their primary motive. And if part of that is to play around with the immigration numbers, yes, it will, of course, inconvenience some of us who are in the industry of immigration, or applicants like yourself. But please bear in mind that we are also trying to, grapple with government policies. We don't know if there was some kind of a directive is saying slow down the numbers for the time being, because we want to give the impression that the numbers of immigrants are coming down or whatever. So we don't know what is happening in the background. But as your representatives, we're trying to do our best. And so when I went and met the head of this immigration in Mumbai, I said, I completely understand why governments take certain decisions. And I'm totally in support of everything that any government will do, not just the Labour government, but any future government that comes into to power in New Zealand. I said from our side, as an organization, we will support all these initiatives. If you say, look, we don't want 100,000 international students every year, we only want 50,000 international students every year in New Zealand, and out of that, we want them only in certain subjects, we will definitely work towards that. So, as an organization, AJB will always align itself to the expectations and the requirements of the government of New Zealand. So, that's the reason I want all you guys and girls who are kind of waiting for your visas to come through, saying, well, why is it not happening? Why is it not? Just understand that there are larger forces at play sometimes, and that's the reason. But from our side, we're trying to do our best. We are portraying to the government of New Zealand through our interactions with the immigration department that we are part of your team. We are not pulling in the opposite direction. We're telling them, help us to get our students into New Zealand, because we are picking and choosing the best possible talent who can very well go to any other country. So that's what is happening. All right. So cool. Guys, I'm gonna pause for a second because I think I just lost my connection on my Facebook page, but I'll still be live on some of the other places, but I'm gonna come back and come live on this again. One moment. Sorry. Yep, I should be live again. Yes, team, please confirm I'm live back again. And Yeah, just before I went offline on the AJB Global page, I was giving a long explanation about why there is a delay. So there could be other things. So please be patient. Please bear with us. We're doing everything we can from our side, and we are telling the government of New Zealand that we are part of their team and only going to work with good quality students and future migrants of New Zealand. All right. So please be patient, guys. Yeah. Cool. Jyoti, if you're listening, you'll have to come back and post all those previous comments onto this new session that I have started. In the meantime, there's an update from one of my colleagues called Tulika, who is one of our team leaders. And she is also going to be our next licensed immigration advisor. So, yeah, you can all join me in congratulating Tulika. But she's passed her first set of papers to be able to become a licensed immigration advisor. And she is going to be a LIS soon. So, she has given an update about one of our students called Andrews Toms. And Andrews, this message is for you. She would like me to convey that we called INZ today, and they have confirmed that an immigration officer was allocated to your case on the 23rd of May. And she, Tulika, is going to write an email to the immigration manager at Mumbai office again today. All right. So that's the update for you, Andrew. Yep, that's very cool. Um, okay, there is another. Jyoti, you will have to quickly paste all those previous messages here. After I answered Simran, the next messages. If you can start pasting here, then I can go back and answer them. In the meantime, my other colleague, Navya, has given me an update about somebody called Bhargav. Bhargav, I believe you would have asked a question, and but my connection broke, so I could not continue answering there. But it says, Bhargav, that you got your approval in principle, but you paid 3.5 lakhs of rupees from funds other than the ones shown with the application. Uh, Give me just a second, Bhargav. It's a very long explanation that Navya has written to me, and I'm trying to read it so that I can convey it to you. Or simpler thing would be for you to just give Navya a call and she can explain this to you. But I'll explain it to you because you came on this live expecting an answer. Okay, cool. So, Bhargav, Tulika, sorry, Navya, who is also one of our team leaders, has explained everything clearly to INZ and said that the funds that you showed is from your previous visa application, and then she goes on to do a lot of other explanation and saying that it's all been explained to them, and she is confident that they will make an allowance in your case. All right, Bhargav. So I think that's the update for you as well, Bhargav. So it's under control because, as far as I can see from Navya's description of the way they are handling your particular situation, I think they're doing a good job of explaining to Immigration New Zealand that it's all going to be fine, and that this funds that you've shown is actually from a previous application. So in that sense, I think it should all be fine. All right, cool. Jyoti, I'm yet to see any questions here in this forum. So I'm going to quickly scroll over and say if there are any questions anywhere. Okay. Right. Okay. Jyoti, I was hoping you could paste them into. Okay, you're going to paste them here. All right. Okay. Sandeep Singh from YouTube asks, Sir, I have applied for student visa on the 6th of May, but I have not received any interview call. How much time would it take now? Sandeep, you have not mentioned if you are an AJV student or not. Uh, if you're an AJV student, like I said, we are exerting gentle but regular and firm pressure on the Immigration Department of New Zealand. If you're not an AJV student, Sandeep, I would suggest you speak to your agency, or if you applied yourself, you can try and call the immigration helpline, and they should be able to help you. All right, cool. Okay, question from Meena Dakal, and I'm thinking Meena Dakal is from Nepal, and says Meena says I got 5.5 in IELTS, and I have 15 years gap. Is it acceptable? My contact number is so and so. Meena, the gap in studies is really never such a big issue, to be honest, because, like I said, there are two aspects to people wanting to come to New Zealand to study. One is, of course, those who want to study and go back to their home countries, and then there is a second lot who would like to come study here and pick up a job and eventually get a residency. So as far as we are concerned in New Zealand, from our New Zealand perspective, we would love to have international students because you guys bring in a lot of good, valuable revenue for us. So I think we are already, I think it's a $5.5 billion industry for us, and it supports thousands of jobs. This particular sector for a country of our size, it's a fantastic industry for us to grow and and keep making it better and better. So from that perspective, of course, we would like to have a lot of international students. The problem comes when practically every international student comes here, also comes with the expectation of settling down in New Zealand, and it's which is practically impossible because we do not have so many places for residency as we have to accept international students. So if we are able to accept so many international students, we will have only so many places for residency, and that's where the competition occurs. So from an international student perspective, there is no problem at all about the gaps that you have, because like I said, we work with, as an organization, we have worked with students with more than 20 years of gap, and we have been successful in their applications. Well, the future hold true to your expectations is something else altogether. But from an international student perspective, there is no problem. We should be able to help you to find a suitable course here in New Zealand. So my team will get in touch with you, and we will definitely examine what is the best options for you, and we will take it forward from there. All right, cool. Okay, Jyoti, I wanted you to post them here into this new session in AJV Global, instead of putting it onto our Skype. So yeah, Rajan Giri, I have already answered. Palak Mataru, whatever, says, "Hi, I'm not an AJV client. Bad, Palak. We don't like that. Could you help me understand if Masters of Applied Management from Otago will turn fruitful with 6 years of management work experience?" All right. Palak, I really wish you were an AJB student and client, because we do provide a lot of support to our students after the land here in New Zealand. And will a course in applied management be helpful towards future work and residency in New Zealand? I don't see any reason why it will not, because there are quite a few of our students who have come and studied this course in applied management, and have gone on to pick up relevant jobs and gone on to also get the required salary level to be able to make an application for a resident visa. So it certainly is possible. But like I said, Palak, it is not going to be a bed of roses once you reach New Zealand. And that's the reason we keep saying that you will require a coach, you will require a mentor, you will require a guide, you will require an advisor at each and every step of the way in New Zealand. And that's why we encourage people like you to come and work with us, because we will be your local coaches, your mentors, your guides, your advisors, your shoulder to cry on if you're feeling homesick, like how I did last week and met one of my students. The other thing we do is we network you with our old clients, we network you with the contact people of professionals we already have in New Zealand. Why? Because we live in New Zealand and we have all these contacts with us. So that's the reason we are able to do that. So Palak, if you're not way down into your path in your process, I would request you to have a chat with us. You shared your number. We would gladly have a chat with you. Examine the pros and cons of working with a company like AJV Services, because as I keep saying, we are present in New Zealand, and we are doing a lot of things. We've just set up a free toll-free number for all our clients to call us. We are going to each and every city. We're meeting them. We are doing networking meetings. We are doing sessions on how to find jobs, and what kind of jobs will lead to residency and all. To the best of my knowledge, no other company is doing this. And so, if all of you hearing my broadcast, it's your choice. If you want to let go of that ability, I mean, even Virat Kohli takes his coach along with him when he goes to a foreign country. So why not you guys? You will require that coach. So we will be your coaches when you come to New Zealand. So I think you guys will need to be very clear in your mind as to what it is that you're looking for. All right, cool. Santosh Aryan says, "Hi, I want to reach in New Zealand for study. My study gap is 7 years. I can pay all fee, but when I reach there, is it possible?" Hey, Santosh, gap of 7 years, as I was just answering, I think the previous lady called Mina. Yeah, no problem. 7 years is not much of a gap as long as we are able to understand what you did during those gap years, and we will be able to construct that case and present it to New Zealand. And it's good to know that you can pay all the fees because, like I was stating at the start of this broadcast, the financial ability is a very crucial thing when you're planning to go overseas. So good to know you have the money. And when you reach there, is it possible to yeah, I mean, definitely possible. All right, cool. I think my sorry guys, there's a break in my video again, so I'm gonna go back live again. Mhm. Yeah, I should be back live again on our HAV Global page. Sorry, there's been a couple of breaks, so I'm just trying to get back again. Yeah, so Santosh, yeah, get in touch with us, and 7 years of gap is not a problem. And once you reach your being successful, it is also possible, and we will guide you at each and every step. All right, cool. Ankit Malviya says, "Sir, I'm looking to pursue masters in management in New Zealand. Is New Zealand the right country to do a management degree as I don't have any experience and from a technical background?" Ankit, you're the kind of people I'd love to speak to because I am not a fan of people like you who don't have any experience and who come from a technical background to jump into a management course at such a very early stage in your life. Go on to my YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and type Arun Jacob, and you will see this face coming up there. And there are hundreds of videos, but search for one which says doing a management course with a technical background. And I absolutely, especially without experience, I don't think management courses are for people like you who do not have any background or experience. And as a technical guy, that's what you really should be pursuing and continuing with. Because if you look at the long-term skill shortage list of New Zealand, it will be filled with technical, positions and occupational groups and stuff like that. So if you have such a beautiful technical background, like an engineer or something like that, or an IT kind of a guy, why do you want to let go of a skill that is massively required in New Zealand and want to jump into something general like management, which is not in the skill shortage list? Well, people with management backgrounds and coming here to study management courses find employment and be able to find residency? Yes. But if they have adequate background and experience and the confidence to go, not a guy like you, Ankit, who's very young and does not have any background and has a beautiful technical background, I would say stick to your technical because that's what we want. We want people here in New Zealand with strong technical skills. So when you know that is the requirement, you should try and move in that particular direction and not jump into management. So my team will get in touch with you, Ankit, and we would love to talk to you and put some more options in front of you. Have a look. But my sincere suggestion to you, as your advisor, is do not jump into management if you're a fresh graduate. Management courses are for people with a few years of work experience so that they can consolidate all that work experience and give it a nice academic cover, and then combine that academic knowledge and their practical experience and then become good managers, not for young people who are just out of college and want to become managers. All right, cool. Ruben Gabriel says, "Hi, I would like to explore study options in New Zealand. If you have any particular unis for me to study my master's in professional account, to study my master's in professional accounting." Hey, Ruben, good query and good subject area as well. Our students who are coming and doing the course in professional accounting are faring very well, and they are moving on to picking up relevant jobs and going on to be successful. As regards universities, I think you should come to my city. You must come to the city of Hamilton and to the university. here called it's called University of Waikato, which is one of the nicest universities here in New Zealand. We have a fantastic working relationship with them, and it's a beautiful campus as well. And they have a fantastic Master of Professional Accounting program, and we would love to work with you and get you into that particular course. And for all our students who come with accounting subjects, we also try and connect them to some local professional accountants here in New Zealand, so that you also speak to these practicing professionals here in this country, and thus not only acquire good knowledge from your institution and your university, but also pick up practical knowledge from from practicing accountants here in New Zealand. All right, so look forward to working with you, Ruben, and maybe we'll ask the Ruben in our team. We have Ruben as well in our team, and maybe we'll connect both your Rubens together, and you guys can have a chat and see if you can come to New Zealand, especially to the University of Waikato and Hamilton. All right, cool. Reina Suresh says, "Hi sir, is it possible to get a job in New Zealand without any previous experience?" If you're looking for a job directly, Reina, maybe not. But if you're planning to come to New Zealand and study here at a particular level, of course, and pick up your post-study work visa, for instance, if you do a postgraduate diploma at level 8 in New Zealand, you can get a 3 years post-study work visa. And yeah, definitely should be able to pick up a job in New Zealand, because you will be in New Zealand and also with the legal ability to pick up you'll have a legal work visa stamped into your not really stamped into your passport, because nowadays they're only doing e-visas, but so yeah, you'll be able to definitely prep yourself to be able to get a job in New Zealand, even if you don't have any previous experience. Because if you come and study in New Zealand, that 1 year you will also be doing some kind of part-time work, so that will begin to add some local experience for you in New Zealand. And if you're coming into New Zealand as a AJV student, we will also be your local references, so you will have some local New Zealand references, and of course we'll help you with your CV, your cover letters, and all those kinds of things. So yeah, I mean, without any experience, can you find a job in New Zealand? Yes, it is possible. If you can first come and invest into studies in New Zealand. If you cannot do that, sitting outside New Zealand and trying to apply for jobs, impossible, practically. Okay, so that'll be my answer to you. Raghu Prasad Veera, how good is New Zealand for doing level 9 in construction management? Fantastic, Raghu. Um, because we are going through a massive shortage in the construction field at the moment. There's a lot of construction happening in New Zealand, not just residential homes, but commercial complexes, infrastructure, highways, buildings, you name it, it's all happening. We're still having a bit of the Christchurch earthquake rebuild is still happening. So there is a lot of construction happening in New Zealand, and that's the reason, in fact, the government of New Zealand even came out with a separate skill shortage list called the construction and infrastructure skill shortage list. So it goes to show how much of a desperation we have as a country to attract good, solid construction professionals. So if you're going to be coming here to New Zealand to do a level 9 masters in construction management, I do not see any reason why you will not succeed. In fact, a couple of weeks back, I was speaking to one of my students called Sadiq, who completed the course in construction management, I think, from University of Canterbury. So yeah, I think definitely possible. Okay, sorry guys, this is stopped again. Today I'm having trouble with the AJV global page. Okay, I'm gonna connect one last time and also end the session. Right, I should be live back on the AJV global page. That is the fourth time I had to connect. Not a good day for connections, I think, or maybe I'm streaming on too many different places and don't know what it is. Right. Jai Apollo says, "Hi, sir. I applied for a student visa on May 3rd. My commencement date is June 24th. 2019, but till now I did not receive any news from the immigration. Can you please give me any suggestion? Answered this many times, Jai, in this session. Just go back and listen to that. Thank you very much. Uh, Jagdish MJ shared this number and says study visa applied for New Zealand has been rejected because of date of birth mismatch and sponsors ID proof. How long should I wait for apply again? People told me that rejection cases is more tough to get visa further. Jagdish, I do not agree with that. I think Immigration New Zealand is a fair organization. Right now, they are in the midst of a little bit of crisis of trying to create, clear some of the pending cases. But by and large, it's a fair organization, even if there are some delays, unfortunate delays right now. But I think they deal with their cases quite fairly. And if you were not, if your rejection was not because of fraudulent documents or some other serious issue, I think you have a I will not say right, but you can go back and apply almost immediately. But when you apply the second time, whoever is applying on your behalf, for instance, if you choose a good company like AJV, we will sit with you and understand where exactly the problem excuse me, occurred the previous time, try and address that particular issue and represent that case in the right manner to Immigration New Zealand, and fight that case again. So I will say, don't worry too much about the fact that it was some kind of technical error. I would say you've shared your number with us. We will get in touch with you. Like I told you, we are a team of licensed immigration advisors and ex-immigration officers. We have a very, very good understanding of this immigration processes, and all of us have dealt with these either as licensed immigration advisors or ex-immigration officers. We have been dealing with cases like this, and at the end of the day, our job is to make sure that we are matching New Zealand with the right people. And if you're a right person, everything else was fine. And the only problem was that some kind of a technical date of birth issue, because of which you got kind of rejected. We'd be happy to take a look at that case again, Jagdish, and try and present it again. Don't listen to people who say you can't file it immediately and all those. Of course, you can file it immediately. Will it take longer? Yes, I think it will take longer because cases that have been rejected before kind of are not prioritized, so it can take longer. So don't have uh, unrealistic expectations that something will happen within 4 or 5 weeks as soon as you file. My suggestion to you is take your time. I know you'll be a little worked up right now because nobody likes to lose a visa, and get a visa rejection. It's a terrible feeling. My suggestion to you is let's apply for it again, but don't be in too much of a hurry. Let's apply for an intake which is at least 3 or 4 months away, because that will give time for the immigration department to allocate your case and let it go to an immigration officer who will then scrutiny it. And obviously, because there was a prior visa rejection, there will be that extra amount of scrutiny, definitely. But we will be there as your representatives, and we will speak on your behalf and put forward a good argument and advocacy on your behalf, and try and make this thing happen. All right, guys. So that's pretty much it for today, I think, because as you guys would have noticed, I started my little bouts of coughing, and it's also 7:30. If I'm not, yeah, it's almost there. So there I go again, ring my that pretty little bell, um, which was gifted to me by one of my colleagues, and I also got into that habit of twirling that thing on top there. Oops, I caught it. See, watching all those World Cup cricket. So some my reflexes are working up, which brings me up to probably the most important question tonight is who is going to win the match? Is it going to be India or New Zealand? And I say I probably just picked up about 500 detractors in India right now. But I mean, come on, guys, somebody's got to fight for the underdog as well. All right, so yeah, there we go. Go New Zealand. All right. Okay, I can't see any other questions except one last suggestion from my colleague Ruben, who says that Shanti Angeline, who's the wife of one of our previous students, who is already here in New Zealand, in Wellington. Um, She has lodged her partner visa. Uh, yeah, that's all the information I have from Ruben. So, yeah, Shanti, if you're listening in, if you have lost your visa, we will be on top of it. And as as the partner of a student who is doing a level 9 program, um, okay, here's the full question. Ruben has now pasted the full question to me. He says, "Hi, sir. My hubby is in student visa. Myself and my kid are waiting for our dependent visa." Okay, cool. Is there any possibility to do any part-time job until I get my work permit visa, or what's the other options I can look out for? Shanti, it's not a good idea to apply for to uh, do any paid job if you're not on a work visa in New Zealand. If you're only on a visitor visa, then it's not a good idea to work because if at any point, if let's say you do pick up a job and the employer then starts putting your salary and your taxes into the system, at some point immigration will come to know that you were working while you still did not have the legal work visa in New Zealand. So it's definitely not advisable to do work till you have a work visa in your hand. What are your other options? You can do volunteering work. Go to Red Cross, go to Salvation Army, go to your local church, go to your local community center, go to many of these many places, and they're all constantly looking for volunteers because they're all trying to do good work in charity, and they can do with some volunteers. I used to go and do some volunteering work at a place called the Migrant Resource Center here in Hamilton. So that was I used to actually do some work with refugees, just as part of my community service, really. So yeah, those are the kind of things that you can do, Shanti. But please do not work till you get your work visa because it's not only illegal, but it can get you into trouble at a future date if at any time immigration department comes to know that you worked illegally without having a valid work visa. All right. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. And thank you as always for coming and watching all my live sessions. And I hope all of you enjoy the semi-final match between India and New Zealand today. May the best team win. And once again, I say goodbye from Hamilton, and I shall see you again next week. Till then, Pomarie, which is good night in the Maori language. Bye bye.